the only way to get more knowledge about timely skills is to get shit done a lot of times, right? Not just read something, but actually go and do something. And the timely skills are more about the social media, they're more about promotions, they're more about something very tactical and very seasonal, because what's working today could stop working tomorrow.
You're listening to 15-Minute Mastery, a show that empowers you with insights from leading iGaming experts to enhance your personal or business performance. The show is brought to you by the AI-powered data analytics platform Blask and supported by tech-driven affiliate and media company Already Media, Lala Stars, the leading casino partnership program, and Next.io, the world's iGaming community.
Hello everyone and welcome to this special episode of 15-Minute Mastery. Again today, Dmitry is in the hot seat. For those of you who don't know, Dmitry has a fascinating success story within iGaming. He started his journey in Minsk, building affiliate websites, and since then he has worked as a CMO, driving growth for world-renowned operators, and is now an iGaming investor. But marketing remains Dmitry's first love and arguably his greatest skill. And in today's episode, we're going to lean on this experience to inspire future CMOs of the industry and help them grow their careers. Welcome back, Dima.
Hey, John. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so let's set the scene. For context, can you just explain and tell us about your journey from building affiliate websites in Minsk to becoming a leader in the sports betting industry?
To be honest, I think the way it all started was a truly interesting mix of different angles just combined into one. I was playing online poker when I was 17 years old. And at the same time, I was studying as the software engineer in one of the colleges specializing on this particular skill. And when I was playing poker, I discovered a website which was called Poker Strategy. And at some point, as the kid who was questioning a lot of things, I started questioning like how these guys are making money, like why they're giving away this like free $50 to everyone who just goes through their school and things like this. And then I found out there is the thing which is called affiliation. And I was like, okay, so why I cannot create the same affiliate website like all these guys are creating. And I think it was so easy for me to do that because I was studying HTML, PHP, and I pretty much, took my friend with whom we were studying in the same college, and we just created a very simple website. And I wrote all the content myself, coming up from the player perspective, like what kind of, key elements me as the player was looking on any of this like poker websites and trying to understand what kind of attributes I need to put on the website and cover. So I think I've created one website, and just like after 2 or 3 weeks, I had no idea what SEO is. The website started generating some traffic. And I think the very first time deposit we got at around like 1 month into building the sites. And then slowly and gradually we built around 10 to 15 websites in a few weeks. And then, we just started, multiplying on everything we've got. I think to set the things right, what led me to success at that point of time was just the passion of me being insanely passionate about sports, about online poker, and at the same time, website development, which was also a big passion for me because, I was playing video games most of my life, and then just, kind of combining my love to computers with my love to online poker, like engineering, it created like a perfect combo. And then when I think what was happening throughout all these years is I was really embracing my passion towards the industry, which is probably around 17 years now, still, the strongest as ever, probably maybe even the strongest as ever. And I think what always led me was the passion itself, because how many of my like colleagues and my mentors in my career was telling to me is like money will always come, right? Focus on your passion, focus on developing and building the greatest projects of all times, and then the reward will come at some point. So I think that's like a guiding principle which was always like like foundational in my career.
So, as you've obviously made this insane journey from self-employed to then going to work for some of the world's biggest operators, what are the key levers you've pulled throughout that journey to keep yourself leveling up?
I think the challenge itself. I was always, looking for a bigger challenge in front of me, and I think I always keep referring to this speech by Mark Zuckerberg where he was saying like there is no like perfect timing, there is no perfect skill set to start something. You just need to start, right? So this is where I was always embracing the challenge and being always throwing myself into fire where I had no idea how to do certain things, but setting up a challenge like that was giving me a certain benchmark and maybe even a checklist in terms of what kind of skills or what kind of like attributes me as the professional should have obtained to be able to successfully navigate through this role. And I think, like as you mentioned, the latest career path of mine, investing into companies is also something which I've done previously in my career, but I was never like focused specifically on that. And setting up a benchmark that high, looking at, Paul Graham, Anderson Horowitz, all these guys, right? So looking at that level gave me like a certain benchmark where without like any education, without any proper like a foundational skill set, I just started, challenging myself, talking with smart people, reading a lot of like smart books written by the same smart people, and trying to understand, where are the gaps in my current skill set and with the skill set where I want to get like in the next like year or two. So I think the challenge and my kind of gaming background where I was always, trying to perfect everything, but without having like a proper foundation led me to where I am right now.
Mm-hmm. And I know from personal experience of working with you, you've got a very hands-on kind of testing mindset. You, like you say, you just act and then see if something works and then move to the next thing after discovering whether it does or doesn't. But I think there's also another crucial aspect of your journey, and from what I understand, that's mentorship, right? How important do you think it is to find good mentors? And if you don't have a mentor, how do you find one?
Well, I think this has been one of the biggest career turning point in my life when I came to a conclusion that I'm kind of stuck at my current role, and like my challenge is no longer a challenge, and the days are becoming like a well structured and orchestrated routine. I came to like internet thinking, okay, so what should be next? Is this education? Is this new role? Is this maybe something like a research project? I don't know. Like I was at the point where I was really not happy about my current role because it was too easy at some point. And like going through the internet, like I mean, I keep mentioning the same people like Paul Graham, who's been like a massive inspiration for me back in the days. The role of the mentorship is something which I never thought of before, and by reading some of the blog posts, especially from the US, like a VC kind of forums, I realized that finding a good mentor could be worth like hundreds of MBAs, and being able to understand someone's past and someone's challenges back in their careers is something which can help you to like improve your life dramatically. So I went like on the same path where I tried to identify, okay, who is that person, whom I want to become in like 10 to 15 years time, and not just from like a pure career perspective, but from the human perspective as well, right? Because it's very important not to create an idol, but be able to find an inspiration, I think. And, I think I've created a list of almost like 10 people, and I started reaching out to them. And after chatting with just a few, I found that person, and I think we've connected. And Like I think it's more than like 5 or 6 years now we're like together, and I cannot really call it like a very kind of framework driven mentor and mentee relationships. These are more now like a friendly relationships where, both of us, I hope, generate a lot of value to each other, having all these conversations probably, a few times per month. So I'm incredibly grateful to my mentor, and I keep saying that, my career path and, the human and the person I became is really strongly tied to this person's influence. And I think I couldn't recommend more on like going through the same road on finding a mentor, identifying, what kind of skill set, your mentor should have acquired through his career, and so you can, be able to learn from him.
I think that's a really interesting blend of two different approaches. You've got that fast action testing mindset, but you also have a mentor to back you up. So they've already gone through that testing, so it helps you skip past in some aspects and get straight to what's actually working. But you've also spoken a lot before about there being two different types of skill set that someone can build to help them progress in their career. You've got timely skills, which are the more practical, tactical aspects, but they might be more short-lived. Then you've got the timeless skills, which are the evergreen foundational skills that someone can build. So for someone watching now, what are the timely skills and the timeless skills that would be best focused on to build a career as a marketer in iGaming today?
Yeah. That's a great question, to be honest. And I think with the current, probably the biggest change in the user behavior of a person online is something which will probably needs to be reconsidered in the next few years, because with the rise of AI and with the current state of technology, I think the timeless skills could be reconsidered in the next few years. But if answering this question right now, I don't think they changed in the last like 100 years, since the very beginning of marketing. It's pretty much the same, like, how they call them P's, right? Like 6 P's, sometimes 4 P's. I'm a fan of as many P's as possible, because it's just about how well you understand your product, your audience, your promotion, the place, etc. So it's about getting more foundational things in place, set up, and well driven. And these are the things which are not changing, no matter what industry. Like, we're talking specifically about the iGaming, but if you think about the user behavior, the user journey is pretty much the same. It's about creating awareness. It's about, generating consideration, and then, being able to convert that interest. So I think that anything, whether it's soft drinks, whether it's iGaming brands, it's pretty much the same, and foundations will always be the same. What I'm saying to a lot of people asking me about the education advice, like where they can find like an iGaming knowledge, I never said like go and apply to this iGaming university, because foundations are always be the same, and no matter like where. So just stick to like a good foundational education anywhere in the world. But then when it comes down to tactical things, like how you call them, like timely skills, I think this is where the iGaming is creating like a whole world of difference. And the only way to get more knowledge about timely skills is to get shit done a lot of times, right? Not just read something, but actually go and do something. And the timely skills are more about the social media. They're more about promotions. They're more about something very tactical and very, I'd say, seasonal, because what's working today could stop working tomorrow. And, there are so many things like new age and new gen operators are implementing right now, like influencer marketing campaigns, gamifications, a lot of very interesting techniques, which, were probably not existing 2 or 3 years ago. So I think the only way to actually acquire and be able to perfect timely skills is to actually do a lot of things, experiment with a lot of things, and be very hands-on. If you think about the current role of the CMO in any organization, which is probably, so much above any tactical and like real hands-on implementation aspects. This is where you really need to be like a human champion within your organization and to be able to extract that knowledge. Because sometimes like a tiny framework which has been implemented by one of your like junior employees could be a possible hidden gem with your knowledge of the strategic perspective could turn into like a monster marketing campaign or monster acquisition channel. So I think the only way to be able to fully uncover and explore the opportunities of the timely skills is to really feel the rhythm and the pulse of the organization and to be able to monitor and leverage the knowledge which are coming from the bottom to the up. So that's what I think about these timely skills.
That's an awesome answer, Dima. So thinking about the CMOs of tomorrow, let's say the aspiring marketers who either haven't started in the industry yet or want to get started in the industry yet, where would you suggest they start? Would you recommend the self-employed kind of just throwing yourself out onto the internet and trying things approach, or do you think they're better served starting towards the bottom of a bigger iGaming company and learning that way?
I think the answer would be attached more to the personality of a person. If someone got that entrepreneurial mindset and really willing to challenge himself, embrace the grind, and there is no like I keep saying this, but probably this is something which many entrepreneurs could confirm. There is no days off. There is no holidays. There is no proper breaks when you're on that journey, and you really need to understand how tough is that. But the reward is much more rewarding than in any other career path. But at the same time, if you're at the point where you really need stability, you really need like a proper income, which is not attached to your your activities today, then probably going through like a corporate path is something which you need to do. But what I'm thinking is these two paths, they're insanely different, and they're giving you a different time to market as the marketeer, like towards the top of the CMO ladder. And sometimes you can get stuck at the situation where your entrepreneurial journey will lead you to start, generating a lot of money, and then you won't be able to just, look around and just, keep generating the money, which is good. But at the same time, you will be stuck and you will not be able to advance in your career. So I think it's more about, what kind of path you want to accomplish, because at some point, referring to my career, I was an entrepreneur for most of my life. And then at some point I realized, okay, I really want to try myself, on the corporate level, to try to, work on something very challenging and on the highest possible level, right? This is where I spent almost like 5.5 years working as the CMO at, one of the world's largest sports betting companies. So what I'm thinking is, no matter which path you will take, if you challenge yourself enough and if you're hungry to challenge enough, then you will be able to get to the point where like you will become a CMO. And if this is your target, then you just really need to create that reversal path towards your goal and understand what kind of challenges you need to take, what kind of key professional attributes you need to obtain, and to be able to understand where exactly, at what kind of roles exactly, and maybe even what kind of organizations exactly you can get this kind of skills.
That's a fantastic answer, Dima, and my only regret is that we can't talk a lot more on this subject, because I know you have so much value to give, but we're going to be doing more initiatives around this. I know it's a topic you're personally very passionate about, and me too. So to the audience, keep an eye out, because there'll be lots more to come. We do have quite a senior audience. So for any of you guys watching, please share this episode with anyone that will be helpful for, because I hope you see that there's a lot of value in this, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks, John.